Hello, first grade friends. It's me, Mrs. Brown. I'm back, but this time I'm going to teach you about coins. Money. Who doesn't love money, right? There are 4 types of coins that we're going to talk about today and do a really fun activity with. We're going to go over each one. I'm going to give you a little bit of background knowledge on them and tell you how much they're worth and how we would count them before moving on to our really fun sorting activity. First up is our penny. And when I'm talking about these coins, you're going to hear me use the words heads and tails. So heads talks about the front of the coin, where tails talks about the back of the coin. So looking at this penny, let's turn it the right way. Who do you think this guy is? Does anybody have a guess? Did you say Abraham Lincoln? Because if you did, you're right. It is Abraham Lincoln. He was our 16th president. His face has been on the penny since 1909. Pretty cool. If we turn the coin over to the tail side, you'll notice that there is a shield. And this shield represents the 13 states coming together as one. If you look on the shield, there's actually 13 stripes to represent those 13 states. Pretty cool. When we count our penny, we count it by 1 because a penny is worth 1 cent. So that's why you see me counting here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we could keep going. So a penny is worth how much? That's right, 1 cent. Next up is our nickel. Our nickel is worth 5 cents. So every time we see a nickel, we count by 5. On the heads of the nickel is Thomas Jefferson. He was our 3rd president. His face has been on the nickel since 1938. If we look at the tail side of a nickel, you'll see this big building. This was actually Thomas Jefferson's home, and they called it Monticello. So that's a fun fact. You could probably impress one of your friends when you can tell them the name of Thomas Jefferson's home. A nickel, like I said, is worth 5 cents. So every nickel, we count by 5s. You want to count with me? Great. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And I bet you can count further than that, but we're going to stop right there to talk about our next coin. Now we're going to talk about the dime. The dime is worth 10 cents. When we talk about the dime and look at the head of the dime, the front, we see the profile of our 32nd president, Franklin Roosevelt. On the tail side, you'll see there's a lot on the back. Each of these symbols represents something. If you look in the middle, you'll see a picture of a torch. And the torch is there to stand for liberty. Then, if you look here, this is an olive branch. And the olive branch is a symbol for peace. And then we have an oak branch, and that is a symbol of strength and independence. Pretty cool, right? So every time we see a dime, we count by 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right? Now, the last coin we're going to talk about is the quarter. If you look at the head side of the quarter, you might recognize this guy. It's George Washington. He was our 1st president. And on the back, or tails, you might see this. This is the coat of arms, which is an eagle with his outstretched wings. His wings are out, as you may notice. They stopped making the back of this coin in 1999. In 1999, they started putting on the back of quarters different national parks and other national sites. So a quarter you might have in your hand could look a little bit different. And here's a fun fact about a quarter. The first quarter was made in 1796. That was a long time ago. When we have a quarter, we count by 25. There are 4 quarters in a dollar. So every 4 quarters you find, you have a dollar. But let's count by 25. 25, 50, 75, 100. Now that we've learned about our coins, let's move on to the sorting activity. So on your remote plan, there is a link to this paper right here. This is our sorting sheet that we're going to use for this activity. If you can print it out, great. If you can't, that's okay. You can make your own. So each section has a coin in it. So you can see right at the top here, there's a penny, the nickel, the dime, and the quarter. What you're going to need for this sorting activity is some coins. So I borrowed my son's little coin purse that he got on our trip, and he has it filled with a lot of coins. So what I want to do is I want to just take maybe a handful and try to sort these coins on the paper. So let's look. Here is my first coin. What does this coin look like to you? And where is it going to go on my paper? Did you say quarter? Because if you did, you are right. So I'm going to put my coin right in the quarter. And then I'll move on to my next coin. I've got this little guy. Does he look familiar? Tell me, where am I going to put this coin? That's right. I'm going to add him to my penny. So what you want to do is you want to keep working on that until you sort all the coins that you grabbed. Once you have all your coins sorted, Miss Matthew and I have a challenge for you. Are you up for it? Great. What we'd like you to try to do is look at your sorted coins, count them, and tell us what the money amount would be. So for example, if I had 10 pennies on my sorting sheet, how much would that be? 10 cents. You're right. So do that for each section on your sorting sheet. And then don't forget, have Mom or Dad take a picture and send it to us because we would love to see it. Good luck.